Shakespeare in the Dark's production of Gallathea. Gallathea was written by John Lyly, not Shakespeare, but it was written around the same time, so I think it counts. In the 1500s, when Gallathea was first performed, they did not have electric lighting. This meant that the lights stayed on for the entirety of the performance, meaning that you can see the actors can see you, and you can see each other. Save for a few blackouts, in this spirit, our theater will stay lit for the duration of our show. Lastly, or not quite lastly, but please turn off all cell phones, and if you're going to take pictures, please turn the flash off. And additionally, right now, I just found out that it is Lesbian Visibility Week. So, that's it. Lastly, thank you all so much for coming, and please enjoy Shakespeare in the Dark's production of Gallathea.
Your judgments in favor are our sun and shadow, the one coming of your deep wisdom, the other of your wanted grace. We in all humility desire that by the former receiving our first breath, we may in the latter take our last rest. What we present should neither offend in scene nor syllable, knowing that as in the ground where gold groweth, nothing will prosper but gold. So in your mind, where nothing doth harbor but virtue, nothing can enter but virtue.
The sun doth beat upon the plain fields. Let us sit here, Gallathea, under this fair oak, by whose broad leaves being defended from the warm weeds, we may enjoy the fresh air.
Father, you have devised well, and whilst our flock doth roam up and down this pleasant green, you shall recount to me, if it please you, for what cause this tree was dedicated unto Neptune, and why you have thus disguised me.
I do agree thereto, and when thy state and my care be considered, thou shalt know that this question was not asked in vain.
I willingly attend.
In times past, where thou seest a heap of small pebbles, stood a stately temple of white marble, which was dedicated unto the god of the sea, and in right being so near the sea. Hither came all, offering sacrifice by fire to get safe passage by water, and yielding thanks for perils past, and making prayers for good success to come. But fortune, constant in nothing but inconstancy, did change her copy, as did the people their custom, for the land being oppressed by Danes, who, instead of sacrifice, committed sacrilege, instead of religion, rebellion, and who made a prey of that which they should have made their prayers, tearing down the temple even with the earth, almost being equal with the sky. Enraged so the God who binds the winds in the hollows of the earth, that he caused the seas to break their bounds, if men had broke their vows, and to swell as far beyond their reach as men had swerved beyond their reason. Then might you see ships sail where sheep fed, anchors cast where plows go, fishermen throw their nets where husbands and sow their corn, and fish throw their scales where fowls do reap their quills. Then might you gather froth where now is dew, rotten weeds for sweet roses, and take view of monstrous mermaids instead of passing fair maids.
To hear these sweet marvels, I would mine eyes were turned also into ears.
But at the last, our countrymen repenting, and not too late, because at last Neptune, either weary of his wrath or wary to do them wrong, upon condition did consent to ease their miseries.
What condition will not miserable men accept?
The condition was this, that at every 5 years' day, the fairest and the chastest virgin in all the country, being brought unto this tree, and here being bound, which neither parentage should excuse for honor, nor virtue for integrity, is left for a peace offering unto Neptune.
Dear is the peace that is bought with guiltless blood.
I'm not say that, but he sendeth a monster called the Augur, against whose coming the waters roar, the fowls fly away, and the cattle in the field for terror shun the banks.
And is she bound to endure that horror?
And she bound to endure that horror.
Doth this monster devour her?
Whether she be devoured of him, delivered unto Neptune, or drowned between them both, it is not permitted to know, and incurreth danger to conjecture. Now, Gallathea, here endeth my tale and beginneth thy tragedy.
Alas, father, why so?
I would thou hadst been less fair, or more fortunate, then thou should not repine me that I have disguised thee in this attire. For thy beauty will make thee to be thought worthy of this god. But I believe it better to use an unlawful means, your honor preserved, than intolerable grief to avoid destiny. For wisdom ruleth the stars. Now hast thou learned why this tree was dedicated unto Neptune, the cause why the customs of this country, and the vexing care of thy fearful father.
Father, I have been attentive to hear, and by your patience am ready to answer. Destiny may be deferred, not prevented, and therefore it were better to offer myself in triumph than to be drawn to it with dishonor. Hath nature, as you say, made me so fair above all, and will not virtue make me as famous as others? Do you not know, or doth over carefulness make you forget that an honorable death is to be preferred before an infamous life? I am but a child and have not lived long, and yet not so childish as I desire to live ever. Virtues I mean to carry to my grave, not gray hairs. I would I were as sure that destiny would light on me as I am resolved it could not fear me. Nature hath given me beauty, virtue, courage. Nature must yield me death, virtue, honor. Suffer me, therefore, to die for which I was born, or let me curse that I was born, since I may not die for it.
Ah, Gallathea, to consider the causes of change, thou art too young, and that I should find them out for thee too fortunate.
The destiny to me cannot be so hard as the disguising hateful.
To gain love, the gods have taken shapes of beasts. To save life, art thou coy to take the attire of men?
They were beastly gods, that lust could make them seem as beasts.
In health it is easy to counsel the sick, but it is hard for the sick to follow wholesome counsel. Well, let us depart. The day is far spent.
By chance, who would love you to wander solitarily on purpose.
Fair boy, or God, or whatever you be, I would you knew these woods are to me so well known that I cannot stray, though I would. And my mind so free that to be melancholy, I have no cause. There is none of Diana's train that any can train, either out of their way or out of their way.
What is that, Diana, a goddess? What are her nymphs? Virgins? In her pastimes, hunting?
A goddess? Who thinks it not? Virgins, who knows it not, and hunting, who loves it not.
I pray thee, sweet wench, is there not one amongst your whole troop that followeth the sweetest thing? Sweet love.
Love, good sir? Let's call you. What do you mean by it?
A heat full of colds, a sweet full of bitterness, a pain full of pleasantness, which maketh thoughts have eyes and heart's ears bred by desire, nursed by delight, weaned by jealousy, killed by dissembling, buried by ingratitude. And this is love. Fair lady, will you any?
Oh, well, if it be nothing else, it is but a foolish thing.
Try it, and you shall find it a pretty thing.
I have neither will nor leisure, but I will follow Diana in the chase, whose virgins are all chaste, delighting in the bow that wounds the swift heart in the forest, not fearing the bow that strikes the soft heart in the chamber. This difference is between my mistress Diana and your mother, as I guess, Venus, that all her nymphs are amiable and wise in their kind, the other amorous, and too kind for their sex. And so, farewell, little god.
Diana, and thou, and all thine shall know that Cupid is a great god. I will practice a while in these woods, and play such pranks with these nymphs that others with their arrows, they shall be wounded themselves in their own eyes.
Come, Phillida, fair Phillida, methinks too fair being my Phillida. Thou knowest the custom of this country, I the greatness of your beauty, we both the fierceness of the monster Augur. Everyone thinketh his own child fair, but that which I most desire, and would least have, that thou art fairest. Thou shalt therefore disguise thyself in attire, lest I should disguise myself in affection, and suffering thou to perish by a fond desire, whom I may preserve by a sure deceit.
Dear father, nature cannot make me so fair, she hath made you kind, nor you more kind than me dutiful. Whatsoever you command, I will not refuse, because you command nothing but my safety and your happiness. But how shall I be disguised?
In man's apparel.
It will neither become my body nor my mind.
Why?
For then I must be accompanied with boys. Unseemly for my sex, or keep company with girls and become more wanton than becometh. Besides, I shall be ashamed of my long hose and short coat, and so unwarily blab out something by blushing at everything.
Fear not, Phillida, use will make it easy. Fear must make it necessary.
I agree, since my father will have it so, fortune must.
Come, let us in, and when thou art disguised, roam about these woods till the time be past and Neptune satisfied.
It's called a wreck.
I take no pleasure in it. Of all deaths, I would not be drowned. One's clothes must be so wet when he is taken up.
What callest thou the thing that we were bound to?
A raft?
I would rather hang myself on a rafter than be so hailed in the sea. There, one may have a leap for his life. But I marvel how our master speeds.
Warned by this time he is wet-shod. But hast thou ever seen water bubble as the sea did? But what shall we do?
You are now in Lincolnshire, where you can want no fowl, if you can devise means to catch them. There be woods hard by, and at every mile's end houses, so that if you seek on land, you shall speed better than on the sea.
Sea? Nay, I shall never sail again. I brook not their diet. Their bread is so hard one must carry a whetstone in his mouth to grind his teeth. Their meat so salt that one might think after dinner his tongue had been powdered 10 days.
Oh, thou hast a sweet life, mariner. To be a pin and a few boards and to be within an inch of a thing bottomless? Ugh. I pray thee, how often hast thou been drowned?
Fool, thou seest I am yet alive.
Be they dead that be drowned? I had thought they'd been with the fish. Caught up with them in the net again. It were a shame a little cold water should kill a man of reason, and we shall see a poor minnow lying at the half known.
Thou art wise from the crown of thy head upward. Seek your new fortunes, I shall follow mine old. I can shift the moon and the sun and know by one card, but all you cannot by a whole pair. The lodestone that always holdeth his nose towards the north, the 2 and 30 points for the wind, the wonders I see, but make you all blind. I fear to see no more than a dish of water. Why, fools, it is but a liquid element. Fare thee well.
If we could, we learned his cunning at the cards, for we must live by cousinage. But we have neither land, nor wit, nor masters nor honesty.
Nay. If we're good, we learned his 32. That is, his 3 doesn't lack 4 points for it. You see, betwixt the 3 of us, we have not but 2 good points.
Let us go back a little while, so that you may learn his points. Oh, Sirois! I pray thee, a word. Show us thy points.
Will you learn?
Aye.
As you like this, I will instruct you in all of our secrets. For there is not a clout, nor card, nor board, nor post that hath not a special name nor singular nature.
Begin with thy points, for I lack only points in this world.
North and by east. Northeast. Northeast and by
Slow down.
Northeast. Northeast and by east. East northeast. East and by northeast.
I shall say it. North. Northeast. Northeast. Nor. Oh, I shall never say it.
This is but 1/4.
Shall never learn a quarter of it. I will try. Okay. North. Northeast is to the west side. North.
Oh, passing ill.
Hast thou no memory? Try now.
North. North and by north. I can go further.
Is thy head lighter than the wind, and thy tongue so heavy that it will not wag? I will say it once again. North and by
I will never learn this language. It will give a small living when it will scarcely learn till 1 week old.
Hey? And if your fortunes exceed not your wits, you shall starve before you sleep.
Oh, yeah. Was there ever such a cousin? Or we shall see what fortune we may have before they be made ships. As for a master, he is drowned.
I shall this way.
I this.
And I this. And this day a 12-month, let us all meet here again. And maybe we shall either beg together or hang together.
Well, the skill's not, though we be together. But now we sing together. Shelves and sands and seas, farewell! My would dwell in such a hell as the ship which drunk does reel, taking salt health from deck to keel.
Up were we swallowed in wet graves.
Also in waves.
By Neptune's knaves!
What shall we do, being tossed to shore?
Milk some blind tavern and their roar.
'Tis brave, my boys, to sail on land, for being well manned, we can cry
Stand! The trade of Percy never shall fail until the hangman cries, strike sail! Row men no whither in fair or stormy weather. And as we live, let's die together. One hempen caper cuts a feather.
Blush, Gallathea, that must frame thy affection fit for thy habit, and therefore be thought immodest, because thou art unfortunate. Oh, thy tender years cannot dissemble this deceit, nor thy sex bear it. Oh, would the gods have made me as I seem to be, or that I might safely be what I seem not. Thy father doteth hate myself. I neither like my gait nor my garments. The one untoward, the other unfit, both unseemly. Fill it up. Yonder saith one, so saith nothing. I perceive that boys are in as great disliking of themselves as maids. Therefore, though I wear the apparel, I am glad I'm not the person. Pretty boy, and fair he might well-fed woman. Oh, but because he is not, I am glad I am, for under the colors of my coat, I shall decipher the follies of their kind. I would salute him, but I fear I should make a curtsy instead. Oh, if I durst trust my face as well as I do my habit, I would spend some time to make pastime, for say what they will of a man's wit. It is no second thing to be a woman. Oh, my body would be in my face if he should ask me, as the question behind is common, are you a maid? Stand I still. Boys should be bold. Oh, but here cometh a brave train that will fill all our talk.
Godspeed, fair boy.
You are deceived, lady.
Why? Are you no boy?
No fair boy.
I see an unhappy boy.
Saw you have the deer come this way. He flew down the wind, and I believe you have blanched him.
Whose dear was it, lady?
Diana's deer.
I saw none, but mine own dear.
Swag's wanton or a fool. The other, Diana.
I don't know how it come to pass, but yonder boy is in mine eye too beautiful. I pray the gods, ladies, think him not there, dear.
Pretty lad. Do your sheep feed in the forest, or are you stray from your flock? Or, on purpose, come you to mar Diana's pastime?
I
understand one word you speak. Art thou neither lad nor shepherd?
My mother said I could be no lad till I was 20-year-old, nor keep sheep till I could tell that. And therefore, lady, neither lad nor shepherd is here.
These boys are both agreed. Either they are very pleasant or too perverse. Do your best, lady, make them tusk these woods whilst you stand with our bows, and so use them as beagles, since they have so good mouths.
I will. Follow me without delay or excuse, and if you can do nothing, yet shall you halloo the deer.
I am willing to go.
Not for these ladies' company, but for that fair boy's favor, who I think be a god.
You, sir boy, shall also go.
I must if you command.
And would if you had not.
Now, Cupid, under the shape of a silly girl, show the power of a mighty god. Let Diana and all her coy nymphs know that there is no heart so chaste but thy bow can wound, nor eye so modest but thy brands can kindle, nor thought so staid but thy shafts can make wavering, weak, and wanton. Cupid, though he be a child, is no baby. I will make their pains my pastimes, and so confound their loves in their own sex, that they shall dote in their desires, delight in their affections, in practice only impossibilities. Whilst I, truant from my mother, I will use some tyranny in these woods, and so shall their exercise in foolish love be my excuse in running away. I will see whether fair faces be always chaste, or Diana's virgin is only modest, else I will spend both my shafts and my chase. And you ladies, if you see these dainty dames entrapped in love, say softly to yourselves, we may all love.
Do silly shepherds go about to deceive great Neptune in putting on man's attire upon women. And Cupid, to make sport, deceived them all in using a woman's apparel upon a god. Now, thou hast taken sundry shapes to obtain love, sticked on to practice some deceit to show thy deity, and, having often thrust myself into the shapes of beasts to deceive men, be not coy to use the shape of a shepherd to show thyself a god. Neptune cannot be overreached by swains, himself is subtle. And if Diana be overtaken by craft, Cupid is wise. I will into these woods mar all, and in the end will mar all.
Claim this is seeking a fortune when one can find nothing but birds' nests? Whatever, out of these woods. I shall have wood and luck. Here's nothing but the squeaking of owls, the croaking of frogs, the hissing of adders, the knocking of axes, the walking of hags. What boy is this?
What life would I lead with my father? Nothing but blowing of bellows, beating of spirits, and scraping of crosses. It is a very secret science, for none almost can understand the language of it. Sublimation, amalgamation, calcination, rubification, incorporation, cercination, cementation, albification, and fermentation, with as many terms impossible to be uttered as the art to be compassed.
Let me cross myself. I've never heard so many great devils in such a riddle.
Then our instruments, crosslets, sublimatories, cucurbits, limbecs, dissensors, vials, manual and mural, for imbibing and combining, bellows, maleficative, and indurative.
Oh, what the boy would make it end.
Then our metals, saltpeter, vitriol, salt tartar, salt pepperat, argol, resigar, salmoniac, agrimony, lunary, brimstone, valerian, greenwood, glass, unslaked lime, chalk, ashes, hair, and what not to name. I know not what.
Oh, my hair beginning to stand upright. Oh, what do you would make it end?
And yet, such a Beighley science it is, and so strong on multiplication, that the end is to have neither gold, nor wit, nor honesty.
And art thou just of my occupation? What, fellow? Well met.
Fellow, upon one acquaintance.
Why? Thou sayest the end of thy occupation is to have neither wit, nor gold, nor honesty, and methinks, at a blush, thou shouldst be one of my occupation.
Thou art deceived. My father is an alchemist.
What's that, a man?
A little more than a man, and a hair's breadth less than a god. He can make of thy cap gold, and by multiplication of one girth, 3 old angels. I have known him of the tag of a point to make a silver bowl of a pint.
That makes thee never have a point. Maybe I'll turn to pot. But, what else does thou speak of?
Well, if thou have any gold to work on, thou art then made forever. For with 1 pound of gold, he will go near to pay 10 acres of ground.
How might a man serve him and learn his cunning?
Easily. First, seem to understand the terms, and especially mark these points. In our art, there are 4 spirits.
Oh, nay! I have known you work with devils!
Art gross. We call those spirits that are the grounds of our art, and as it were, the metals were incorporated for domination. The first spirit is quicksilver.
That is my spirit, for my silver is so quick I must to catch it! And is so nimble that when I have it, I cannot hold it. I thought there was a devil in it.
Orphan.
And that's no spirit, but a word to conjure a spirit.
The third, Salomoniac.
Proper word.
The fourth, brimstone.
Oh, that's a stinking spirit. I thought there was some spirit in it because it burns so blue. For you see, my mother would often say that when the candle burned blue, there was some evil spirit in the house. But now I perceive it was the spirit. Brimstone.
Thou canst remember these 4 spirits? Yes.
Oh, I conjure them.
Now are there also 7 bodies? But here cometh my father.
This is a beggar.
No. Such cunning men must disguise themselves as though there were nothing in them, for otherwise they shall be compelled to work for princes, and so be constrained to bewray their secrets.
I like not his attire, and the hammer of his large. An ounce of silver lined, as much of crude mercury of the spirits? 4. Being tempered by the body 7 comes for 1 pound 8,000 pounds, so that I may have only beechen coals. Is it possible?
It is more certain than certainty.
I'll tell thee a secret. I stole a silver thimble. Dost thou think he will make of it a pottle pot?
A pottle pot? Nay. I dare warrant it a whole cupboard of plate. Why, of the quintessence of a leaden plummet he hath framed 20 dozen of silver spoons. Look how he studies. I durst venture my life. He is now casting about how of his breath he may make golden bracelets, for oftentimes of smoke he hath made silver drops.
What do I hear?
Didst thou never hear how Jupiter came? In a golden shower.
I remember the tale.
That shower did my father make of a spoonful of tartar alum, but with the fire of blood and the corrosive of the air, he is able to make nothing infinite. West, these vitals.
What, Peter? Do you loiter, knowing that every minute increaseth our mine?
I was glad to take air, for the metal came so fast, I feared my face would have turned to silver.
But what stripling is this?
One that is desirous to learn your craft.
Oh, craft, boy, you must call it mystery. All is one. A crafty mystery. And a mystical craft. Canst thou take pains? Oh, infinite. But thou must be sworn to be secret, and then I will entertain thee. Oh, I can swear. And though I be a poor man, as well as the best in the Shire. But, sir, I marvel that you, being so cunning, should be so ragged. Oh, my child! Griffs make their nests of gold, though their coats are feathers, and we feather our nests with diamonds, though our garments be but frieze. If thou knewest the cunning of the science, it would make thee so proud thou wouldst disdain the outward pomp.
My father is so ravished with his art that we oftentimes go supperless to bed. For he will make gold of his bread. Of his desire that we all wish our very guts were gold.
Oh, what a fortune have I to let on such a man!
When in the depths of my skill I determine to try the uttermost of mine art, I am dissuaded by the gods! Otherwise I determine to make the fire as it flames gold, the wind as it blows silver, the river as it runs lead, the earth as it stands iron, the sky brass, and glass for metals. I must bless myself and marvel at you. Come in, and then thou shalt see all. I follow, I run, I fly. They say my father hath a golden thumb. You shall see me have a golden body.
I am glad of this, for now I shall have leisure to run away. Such a bald art as never was. Let him keep his new man, for he shall never see his old again. God shield me from blowing gold to nothing. With a strong imagination can make nothing anything.
Poor Phillida. Curse the time of thy birth, and the rareness of thy beauty, the unaptness of thy apparel, and the untameliness of thy affections. Art thou no sooner in the habit of a boy, but thou must be enamored of a boy. What shalt thou do, and what best liketh thee, most discontenteth thee? Go into the woods, watch the good times, his best moods, and transgress in love a little of thy modesty. I will. Oh, I dare not. Thou must. I cannot. Well, then pine in thine own peevishness. I will not. Oh, I will. Oh, Phillida, do something. Hey, anything, rather than live thus. Well, what I will do, myself knows not. What I ought, I know too well. And so I go, resolute either to betray my love or suffer shame. Oh, how now, Gallathea? Miserable Gallathea, that having put on the apparel of a boy, thou canst not also put on the mind. Oh, fair Elias. I too fair, and therefore I fear too proud. Had it not been better for thee to have been a sacrifice to Neptune than a slave to Cupid? To die for thy country than to live in thy fancy? To be a sacrifice than a lover? Oh, would when I hunted his eye with my heart, he might have seen my heart with his eyes. Why did nature to him, a boy, give a face so fair? Or to me, a virgin, a fortune so hard? I will now use for the distaff the bow, and play at quoits abroad that was wont to sew in my sampler at home. It may be, Gallathea. Oh, foolish Gallathea, what may be? Nothing. Let me follow him into the woods, and thou, sweet Venus, be my guide. How now? What new conceits, what strange contraries breed in thy mind? Is thy Diane become a Venus, thy chaste thoughts turned to wanton looks, thy conquering modesty to a captive imagination? Beginnest thou with Peerless, to die in the air and live in the fire,
to leave the sweet delight of hunting and follow the hot desire of love. Oh, Telusa, these words are unfit for thy sex being a virgin, but apt for thy affections being a lover. And can there, in years so young, in education so precise, in a vow so holy and in a heart so chaste, enter either strong desire or a wish or a wavering thought of love? Can Cupid's branch quench Vesta's flames, and his feeble shafts headed with feathers pierce deeper than Diana's arrows headed with steel? Break thy bow, Telusa, that seekest to break thy vow, and let the hands that aim to hit the wild heart scratch out the eyes that have wounded thy tame heart. O vain and only naked name of chastity, that is made eternal and perisheth by time, holy and is infected by fancy, divine and is made mortal by folly. Virgins' hearts, I perceive, are not unlike cotton trees, whose fruit is so hard in the bud that it soundeth like steel, but, being ripe, pour forth nothing but wool, and their thoughts like the leaves of lunar, in which, the further they go from the sun, the sooner are they scorched with his beams. O Melibius, because thou art fair, must I be fickle, and false my vow, because I see thy virtue. Fond girl that I am, to think of love. Nay, vain profession that I follow, to disdain love? Oh, but here cometh Eurota. I must now put on a red mask and blush, lest the pale face laugh.
Telusa! Diana bid me hunt you out and say that you cannot hunt her. But if you follow any other game, then she hath roused. Your punishment shall be to bend our bows and leave all our strings. Why are you looking so sad? So pale, so wildly.
Eurota, the game I follow is the thing I fly. My strange disease, my chief desire.
I know Oedipus to expound riddles, and I muse how thou canst these things to utter them, but I pray thee, Telusa, tell me what thou ailest. If thou be sick, this ground hath leaves to heal. If thou be melancholy, here are pastimes to use. If peevish, witness me it with time or counsel. If thou be in love, for I heard of such a beast called love, it shall be cured. Why blushest thou, Telusa?
To hear thee in reckoning my pains, to recite thine own. I saw, Eurota, how amorously you glanced your eyes on the fair boy in the white coat, and how cunningly now that you would have some talk of love, you hit me in the teeth with love.
I confess I'm in love, and yet I swear I know not what it is. I feel my thoughts unknit, my eyes unstayed, my heart, I know not how affected or infected. My sleep's broken and full of dreams. My weakness is sad and full of sighs. And all things like myself and unlike myself. If this be love, I wish it had never been devised.
Thou hast told what I am in uttering what thyself is. These are my passions, Eurota, my unbridled passions, my intolerable passions, which I were as good as acknowledge and crave counsel as to deny and endure peril.
How did it take you first, Telusa?
By the eyes, my wanton eyes, which conceived the picture of his heart and hanged it on the fairy strings of mine. Oh, fair Melibius, oh, bonds, Telusa! But how did it take you, Eurota?
Through the years, whose sweet words have sunk so deep into my head that the remembrance of his wit hath bereaved me of my wisdom. Oh, eloquent Tityrus! Oh, credulous Eurota! But soft, here cometh Ramia. We mustn't let her hear us talk. We withdraw ourselves and listen her talk.
I am sent to seek others that have lost myself.
You shall see Ramia hath also bitten on a lovely.
Can there be no heart so chaste but love can wound, nor vow so holy but affection can violate? Vain art thou, virtue, and thou, chastity. What a byword when you both are subject to love, of all things the most abject. Love be a god. Why should not lovers be virtuous? Love is a god, and lovers are virtuous.
Indeed, Ramia. If lovers were not virtuous, then wert thou vicious.
What are you? Come so near me?
Near you when we said you loved.
Ramia, 'tis too late to recall it, to repent it. A shame. So I pray thee tell, what is love?
If myself felt only this infection, I would then take upon me the definition. But being incident to so many, I dare not myself describe it. But we will all talk of that in the woods. Diana stormeth that, sending one to seek another, she loseth all. Servia, of all nymphs the coyest, loveth, deadly, and exclaimeth against Diana, honoreth Venus, detesteth Vesta, and maketh the common scorn of virtue. Climbing, whose stately looks seem to amaze the greatest lords, stoopeth, yieldeth, and fawneth over that strange boy in the woods. Myself, with blushing I speak it, am thralled to that boy, that fair boy, that beautiful boy.
What have we here? All in love? No other food than fancy. No, she shall not have the fair boy.
Nor you too, Telusa.
Nor you, Eurota.
I love Elias, and my desert shall be answerable to my desires. I will forsake Diana for him, I will die for him.
So saith I mean, and she will have him, I care not. My sweet Titterus, though he seem proud, I impute it to childishness, who, being yet scarce out of swamp clouds, cannot understand these deep conceits. I love him.
So do I, and I will have him!
Modest all that we are! Unfortunate all that we are like to be! Shall virgins begin to wrangle for love and become modest in their thoughts, in their words, in their actions? Oh, divine love, which art therefore called divine because thou overreachest the wisest, conquerest the chastest, and dost all things both unlikely and impossible because thou art love. Thou makest the bashful impudent, the wise fond, the chaste wanton, and workest contraries to our reach because thyself is beyond reason.
Talk no more, Telusa. Your words wound. Were I were no woman.
Would Titterus were no boy.
Would Telusa were no one.
Pity nature framed you not a woman, having a face so fair, so lovely a countenance, so modest a behavior. There is a tree in Tylos whose nuts shells like fire and be cracked. The kernel is but water.
What toy is it to tell me of this tree, being nothing to the purpose? I say it is a pity thou art not a woman.
I would not wish to be a woman, unless it was because thou art a man.
Nay, I should not wish to be a woman, for then I should not love thee. For I have sworn never to love a woman.
Oh, a strange humor and so pretty in you. And according to mine, for myself, will never love a woman.
It were a shame if a maiden should be a suitor, should be so hated in that sex, that thou shouldst deny to be her servant.
It'd be a shame in me, it can be no commendation in you, for yourself is of that mind.
Suppose I were a virgin, I blush in assuming myself one, and that under the habit of a boy lay the person of a maid. If I should utter my affections and sighs, and manifest sweet love by my salt tears, and prove my loyalties unspotted and my griefs intolerable, would not then that fair face pity this true heart?
Admit that I were, as you would have me suppose that you are, and that I should with entreaties, prayers, oaths, bribes, and whatever can be invented in love, desire your favor, would you not yield?
You come in with the man, you suppose.
What does your fear, sweeties? I fear he is
voice shows the contrary.
Oh, yet I do not think it, for he would then have blushed.
Have you ever, sister?
If I had one, my, brother must needs have two. But I pray if you ever have one.
Nay, my father had but one daughter, and therefore I do have no sister.
Ay me! He is as unable for his speeches be as mine are.
Oh, what shall I do? Either he is subtle, or my sex simple.
I have known divers of Diana's nymphs enamored of him. Yet have he rejected all, either as too proud to disdain, or too childish not to understand, or for that he knoweth himself to be a virgin.
I am in quandary. Diana's nymphs have followed him, and he despised them, either knowing too well the beauty of his own face, or that himself is of the same mold. I will once again try him. You promised me in the woods you would love me before all Diana's nymphs.
So you would love me before all Diana's nymphs.
You prefer a fond boy as I am before so fair ladies as they are.
Why should not I as well as you?
Come, let us into the groves and make much one of another, and cannot tell what to think one of another.
My son is run away. I trust thou wilt not run after.
I wish I had a pair of wings and I might fly after.
My son was the veriest liar, the arrantest thief, and the vilest swearer in the world.
Otherwise, the best boy.
He hath taken my apparel, all my money, and forgot nothing but to bid me farewell.
That will I not forget.
Farewell, master. Thou hast not yet seen the end of my arm.
Would I had not known the beginning! Did not you promise me of my silver thimble to make a whole cupboard of plate? Or that of a Spanish needle you would build a silver steeple?
Rafe, the fortune of this art consisteth in the measure of the fire. If there be a coal too much, or a spark too little, a little too hot, or a thought too soft, all our labor is in vain. Besides, they who blow must be timed with their breaths, as musicians do their breaths, or else all our labor is in vain.
Oh, nay. If you must weigh your fire by ounces and take measure of a man's blast, then you may of a dram of wind make a wedge of gold, or the shadow of 1 shilling make another.
So it is, and often doth it happen that the just proportion of the fire and all things concur.
Concur. Condog.
I'm away.
An art, quoth you, that one multiplied so much by day that, he wanted money to buy meat at night? What have we yonder? What devout man is this?
What devout man?
He will never speak till he be urged. I will, salute him.
Sir, there lies a purse under your feet. If I thought it were not yours, I would take it up.
Dost thou not know that I was calculating the nativity of Alexander's great horse?
And astronomer.
One of those that makes almanacs.
Episimus. I can tell the minute of thy birth, the moment of thy death, and the manner. I can tell thee what weather shall be between now and Octogesimus, Octavus, Mirabilis, Anus. When I list, I can set trap for the sun, catch the moon with lime twigs, and go about fowling for stars. I can tell thee things past and things to come, and with my cunning, measure how many yards of clouds are beneath the sky. Nothing can happen which I foresee not, and nothing shall.
I hope, sir, you are no more than a god.
I can take the 12 signs out from their zodiacs and hang them up in taverns.
Sir, what be these signs?
As men should say, signs which govern the body. The ram governeth the head.
No, that is the worst sign for the head. Why? Because it is a sign of an ill view.
That must have had. Then the bull, throat, Capricorn is beneath. And then
I will hear no more such signs. They be all such desperate signs. But seeing as you are, I don't know how to term you. Though shall I serve you? I would fain serve.
I accept thee.
Oh, happy am I! For now, I can reach thoughts. Until how many drops of water goes into the greatest shower of rain. You shall see me catch the moon in the cliffs like a coney in a purse neck.
I shall teach thee the golden number, the epact, the prime.
I will meddle no more with the numbering of gold, for multiplication is a miserable action. But, I pray, sir, tell me, what weather would we have at this hour, 80 years?
That I must cast by our judicious astronomical. Therefore, come in with me, and thou shalt see every wrinkle in my astrological wisdom. I shall make the heavens as plain to thee as the highway. Thy cunning shall sit cheek by jowl with the sun's chariot. Then shalt thou know what a base thing it is to have others' thoughts creep on the ground, when as thine shall be stitched to the stars.
And I shall be translated from this mortality.
Shall be metamorphosed and made hail fellows with the gods.
Oh, fortune! Already, I feel my very brains moralized, and a certain contempt for earthly actions is crept into my mind by an ethereal contemplation. Come, let us in.
Are all in love? Are Diana's nymphs become Venus's wantons? Is it a shame to be chaste because you be amiable? Or must you needs be amorous because you are fair? Oh, Venus, if this be thy spite, I will requite it with more than hate. Well shalt thou know what it is to drive thine arrows up and down Diana's knees. There is an unknown nymph that straggleth up and down these woods, which I suspect hath been the weaver of these woes. I saw her slumbering by the brookside. Go search her and bring her. If you find upon her shoulder a burn, it is Cupid. If any print on her back like a leaf, it is Medea. If any picture on her left breast like a bird, it is Calypso. Whoever it be, bring her hither, and speedily.
Bring her hither.
I will go with the speech.
Now, ladies, doth not that make your cheeks blush that makes mine ears glow? Or can you remember that without sobs, which Diana cannot think on without sighs? What greater dishonor could happen to Diana, or to her nymphs shame, than that there could be any time so idle that should make their heads so addle? Your chaste hearts, my nymphs, should resemble the onyx, which is hottest when it is whitest, and your thoughts, the more they are assaulted with desires, the less they should be affected. You should think love a white leaf and a black root, a fair show and a bitter taste. Of all trees, the cedar is greatest and hath the smallest seed. Of all affections, love hath the greatest name and the least virtue. Shall it be said, and shall Venus say it? Nay, shall it be seen, and shall wantons see it, that Diana, the goddess of chastity, whose thoughts are always answerable to her vows, whose eyes never glanced on desire, and whose heart abated the point of Cupid's arrows, shall have her virgins to become unchaste in desires, immoderate in affection, untemperate in love, in foolish love, in base love? The birds lose their sweetness when they lose their sights, and virgins all their virtues with their unchaste thoughts. Unchaste, Diana calleth that hath either any show or suspicion of lightness. Oh, my dear nymphs. Loving thoughts stain lovely faces. You would be as careful to have the one as unspotted as the other beautiful. Cast from your eyes the loves of Venus's trolls. Their fortunes, their fancies, their ends. What are they else but shadows of virtue instead of the substance? Love's desire corrupteth all other virtues. I blush, ladies. They should not become apprentices to idleness, and use the pen for sonnets, not the needle for samplers. And how is your love placed? Upon pelting boys, perhaps base of birth, without doubt weak of discretion. Aye, but they are fair. Oh, ladies, do your eyes begin to love colors whose hearts was wont to loathe them? Is Diana's chase become Venus's court? And are your holy vows turned to hollow thoughts?
Madam, if love were not a thing beyond reason, we might then give a reason of our doings. But so divine is his force that it worketh effects is contrary to that we wish, as unreasonable against that we ought.
Lady, so unacquainted are the passions of love that we can neither describe them nor bear them.
Foolish girls! How willing you are to follow that which you should fly! But here cometh Telusa.
We have brought to the skies nymph and have bound on her shoulder a sightly bird. And he confesseth himself to be Cupid.
How now, sir, are you caught? Are you Cupid?
Thou shalt see, Diana, that I dare confess myself to be Cupid.
And thou shalt see. Cupid, that I will show myself to be Diana, that is, conqueror of thy loose and untamed appetites. Did thy mother, Venus, send thee hither to wound my nymphs? Doth she add craft to her malice and mistrusting her deity practice deceit? Is there no place but my groves, no persons but my nymphs? Cruel and unkind Venus, that spiteth only chastity, thou shalt see that Diana's power shall revenge thy policy and tame this pride. As for thee, Cupid, I will break thy bow and burn thine arrows, bind thy hands, clip thy wings, and fetter thy feet. Thou that fattest others with hopes shalt be fed thyself with wishes. And thou that bindest others with golden thoughts shalt be bound thyself with golden fetters. Venus's rods are made of roses, Diana's of briars. Let Venus, that great goddess, ransom Cupid, that little god. These ladies here, whom thou hast infected, with foolish love,
shall both tread on thee and triumph over thee. I will teach thee what it is to displease Diana, distress her nymphs, or disturb her gain.
Diana, what I have done cannot be undone. What do you mean to do shall? Venus hath some gods to her friends. Cupid shall have all.
Are you prating? I will bridle thy tongue and thy power, and in spite of my own thoughts, I shall set thee a task every day which, if thou finish not, thou shalt feel the smart. Thou shalt be used as Diana's slave, not Venus's son. All the world shall see that I will use thee like a captive and show myself a conqueror. Come, have him in that we may devise apt punishment for his proud presumptions.
Little placekeeper, little god.
Not pity thee, though thou be a god.
Nor I.
Nor I.
This is the day wherein you must satisfy Neptune and save yourselves. Call together your fair daughters, and for a sacrifice take the fairest. For better it is to offer a virgin than to suffer ruin. If you think it against nature to sacrifice your children, think it also against sense to destroy your country. If you imagine Neptune pitiless to desire such a prey, confess yourselves perverse to deserve such a punishment. You see this tree? This fatal tree, whose leaves, though they glister like gold, threateneth to fair virgins' grief. To this tree must the beautifulest be bound until the monster Augur carry her away. And if the monster come not, then assure yourselves that the fairest is concealed, and then your country shall be destroyed. Therefore, consult with yourselves not as fathers of children, but as favorers of your country. Let Neptune have his right, and you will have your quiet. Thus, I have warned you to be careful, and would wish you to be wise, knowing that whoso hath the fairest daughter hath the greatest fortune in losing one to save all. And so I depart to provide ceremonies for the sacrifice, and to command you to reap the sacrifice.
They say, Tityrus, you are the fair daughter. If it be so, dissemble not, for you shall be a fortunate father. It is a thing holy to preserve one's country, and honorable to be the cause.
Indeed, Elias. I have heard you boast that you had a fair daughter, than which none was more beautiful. I hope you will not be so careful of a child that you shall be careless of your country.
I must confess, I had a daughter, and no, you have. Alas, her cradle was her grave, and her cloth her white. And would she have lived till now, she would have willingly died now. For what could have been more comfortable to poor Elias than to be father to a sweet child and fair country?
Oh, Elias. Dissemble you may amongst men, deceive the gods you cannot. Did not I see, and very lately see, your daughter in your arms, when as you gave her infinite kisses, with affection I fear me more than fatherly, you have conveyed her away that you might cast us all away, breathing her the honor of her beauty, and us the benefit, preferring a common inconvenience before a private mischief.
It is a bad heart, Tityrus, that can take no color, and a simple father that can use no cunning. You make the people believe that you wish well when you practice nothing but ill, wishing to be thought religious towards the gods, when I know you deceitful towards men. Oh, reach me, Tityrus, or shoot yourself as you may. It is the wily mouse that will breed in the cat's ear. Oh, and he must hunt cunningly that would deceive a cripple. Thinkst thou seest me kiss my daughter? You are deceived. It was my spouse.
Oh my God.
And if you thought so young a piece unfit for so old a person, and therefore imagined it to be my daughter, not my spouse, then you should know that silver hair's delight, in golden locks. And the old fancies crave youngness. And the frosty years must be thawed by youthful fire. But enough of this matter. You have a fair daughter to nurse, and it is because you are so fond of father.
You are both, either too fond or too froward, for whilst you dispute to save your daughters, we neglect to prevent our destruction.
Come, let us away and seek out to sacrifice. We must sift out their cunning, let them shift for themselves.
Come, Cupid, do thy task. First, you must undo all these lovers' knots, because you tied them.
If they be true love knots, 'tis impossible to unknit them. If false, I never tied them.
Make no excuse.
But to if love knots are tied with eyes and cannot be undone with hands, made fast with thoughts and cannot be unloosed with fingers, had Diana no task to set Cupid to, but thinks impossible. I will do it.
Why, how now? You tie the knots faster.
I cannot choose. It goeth against my mind to make them loose.
Let me see now. 'Tis impossible to be undone.
It is the true love knot of a woman's heart, therefore cannot be undone.
That falls in sunder of itself.
It was made of a man's thought, which will never hang together.
You have undone that well.
Because it was never tied well.
To the rest, for she will give you no rest.
These two knots are finely untied. It was because I never tied them. This one was knit by Pluto, not Cupid, by money, not love. The other by force, not faith, by appointment, not affection,
Why do you lay that knot aside?
or for death. Why? Because it was knit of faith and can only be a knit of death.
Why do you throw that at my bosom?
Because it is only for a woman's bosom.
Why? What is it?
A woman's heart.
Come, let us go in and tell that Cupid hath done his task. Stay behind Larissa, and see to it that he sleep not, for love will be idle. And take heed, you serpent not, for love will be wanton.
Let me alone. I will find you someone to do.
Lady, can you for pity see Cupid thus punished?
Why did Cupid punish us without pity?
Is love a punishment?
It is no pastime.
Venus, if thou sawest Cupid as a captive, bound to obey what was wont to command, fearing ladies' threats that once pierced their hearts, I cannot tell whether thou wouldst revenge it or laugh at it. The time may come, Diana, and the time will come that thou that settest Cupid to undo knots shall entreat Cupid to tie knots, and you, ladies, that with solace have beheld my pains, shall with sighs entreat my pity. How now, Cupid?
Begin you to nod.
Come, Cupid. Diana hath devised new labors for you that our god of loves. You shall weave samplers all night and lackey after Diana all day. You shall shortly shoot beasts for men because you have made beasts of men, and wait on ladies' trains because thou entrappest ladies by trains. All the stories that are in Diana's heiress, which are of love, you must pick out with your needle, and in that place sew Vesta with her nuns and Diana with her nymphs. How like you this, Cupid?
I say, I will prick as well with my needle as I ever did with mine arrows.
Diana cannot yield. She's all perfection.
Diana, she cannot conquer destiny.
Come, Cupid. You must to your business.
You shall find me so busy in your heads that you had wished I had been idle in your heart.
This day is a solemn sacrifice at this tree, wherein the fairest virgin, when not the inhabitants faithless, should be offered unto me. So over careful fathers with their children, that they forget the safety of their country, and, fearing to become unnatural, become unreasonable. Their slights may clear men. Deceive me, they cannot. I will be here at the hour and show as great cruelty as they have craft. And well shall they know that Neptune should have been entreated, not cozened.
I marvel what virgin the people will present. It is happy you are none, for then it should have fallen to your lot. Because you are so fair.
If you had been a maiden too, I need not to have feared because you are fair.
Oh, I pray thee, sweet boy, flatter not me. Speak truth of thyself, for in mine eye, of all the world, thou art fairest.
These be fair words, but far from my true thoughts. I know mine own face in a true glass, desire not to see it in a flattering mouth.
Oh, would I did flatter thee, and that fortune flatter not me. I love thee, as a brother. Love not me so.
No, I will not. But love thee better, because I cannot love as a brother.
Well, seeing we are both boys, and both lovers, that our affection may have some show and seem as it were love, let me call thee mistress.
I accept that name.
Divers before have called me mistress.
For what cause?
Nay. There lie the mysteries.
Not you be at the sacrifice?
No.
Why?
Because I dreamt that if I were there, I should be turned to a virgin. And being so fair, as thou say, I should be offered, as thou knowest one must. But will not you be?
Not unless I were sure that a boy might be offered and not a maiden.
Why then you are indeed.
But I would escape it by deceit. But seeing we are resolved to be both absent, let us wander into these groves till the hour be past.
I am agreed, for then my fear will be past.
Why? What dost thou fear?
Nothing but that you love me not.
I will. Oh, poor Phillida. What shouldst thou think of thyself that lovest one, that I fear me is as thyself is? And may it not be that her father practiced the same deceit with her that my father hath with me, and knowing her to be fair, feared she should be unfortunate? Oh, if it be so, Phillida, how desperate is thy case, and if it be not, how doubtful. For if she is a girl, there is no hope of my love. If a boy, hazard. I will after him. Oh, or her. I will lead a melancholy life to look for a miserable death.
No more masters now! But a mistress? If I can rely on her. An astronomer? All occupations, that's the worst.
Yet, sure
and gets no gold. The other stands warming himself by staring on the stars, which I think he can assume a number as know their virtues. He told me a long tale of Optimus and the Octavius and the meaning of the conjunctions and the planets, and in the meantime he fell backward over himself into a pond. I asked him why he foresaw not that by the stars. He said, oh, he knew it, but contemned it. So, is that not my brother, Robin?
Yes, as sure as thou art Rafe!
Robin, what news? What fortune?
Faith, I have had but bad fortune. But prithee, tell me thine.
I have had two masters, not by art, but by nature. One said that by multiplying, he would make of a penny 10 pounds. 10.
Aye, but could he do it?
Could he do it, quoth you? Why, I saw a pretty wench come into his shop where, with so sweating and blowing and puffing, he so plied her that he multiplied. Why, he made of her 1, 2.
What, by fire?
No, by the philosopher's stones.
Have philosophers such stones?
Aye, with a line of privy covers.
Oh, thou art rich if thou hast learned this kind.
Oh, that's not all. What have you done since?
Faith, I served a fortune teller who said I shall live to see my father hanged and both my brothers beg. The mill shall be mine, and I live by imagination still.
Thy master was an ass who looked on the lines of thy hands. My other master was an astronomer who could pick out my nativity from the stars. I should have half a dozen stars in my pocket had I not lost them. But here they be. Sol, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars.
Why these be but names?
But by these, he concluded that I was a jovialist, born of a Thursday, and that I should be a brave Venerian to get all my good luck on a Friday.
Tis strange a fish day should be a flesh day.
Robin. Venus, or to Mari. Venus was born of the sea. The sea will have fish. Fish must have wine. Wine will have flesh, for cardo, garrus, es genus mulierebrae. Soft! Here comes that notable villain that once preferred me to the Alchemist. Oh, Robin, thou shalt see me fight him. I care neither for his looks, his qualities, nor his person.
Rafe? Well met. No doubt about a warm service to my father, the Alchemist.
'Twas warm indeed, for the fire nearly burnt out my eyes, and yet my teeth still watered with hunger, so that my service was both too hot and too cold. I melted all my meat, made only slumber my thoughts, so that I had a full head, but an empty belly. But what of thou? Where's thou been since?
With a brother of thine, I think, for he had such a coat. And two brothers, as you say, seeking a fortune.
'Tis my brother Dick. I prithee, let's go to him.
Sirois, what was he doing that he came not with thee?
He hath gotten a master now that will teach him to make you both his younger brother.
Thou passest for devising impossibilities. That's as true as thy father could make. That's a point for that.
Nay, He will teach him to cozen you both, and so get the mill to himself.
Nay, if he be our cousins, I will be his great-grandfather. And Robin will be his uncle. No, but I pray thee, take us to him quick, for I'm great-bellied with conceit till I meet him.
Come then, and go with me, and I will bring you to him straight.
Bring forth the virgin!
The fatal virgin! You mean to appease Neptune and preserve your country?
Here she cometh.
Accompanied only by men, because it is a sight unseemly, as all virgins say, to witness the misfortune of a maiden, and to behold the fierceness of Augur, the monster.
Miserable and accursed Hebe, that being neither fair nor fortunate, thou shouldst be thought most happy and beautiful. Cursed thy birth, thy life, thy death, being born to live in danger and having lived to die by deceit. Art thou the sacrifice to appease Neptune and satisfy the custom, the bloody custom, ordained for the safety of thy country? Ay, Hebe, poor Hebe, men will have it so, whose forces command our weak natures. Nay, the gods will have it so, whose powers dally with our purposes. Shall it only be lawful amongst us in prime of youth and pride of beauty, to destroy both youth and beauty, and what was honored in fruits and flowers as a virtue, to violate in a virgin as a vice? But alas, destiny alloweth no dispute. Die, Hebe! Hebe died! Woeful Hebe, and only accursed Hebe. Farewell, the sweet delights of life, and welcome now the bitter pangs of death. Farewell, you chaste virgins. Whose fortunes are agreeable to your affections. Enjoy and long enjoy the pleasures of your curled locks, the amiableness of your wish looks, the sweetness of your tuned voices, the content of your inward thoughts, the pomp of your outward shows. Only Hebe biddeth farewell to all the joys that she conceived and you hoped for, that she possessed and you shall. Farewell the pomp of princes' courts, whose roofs are embossed with gold and whose pavements decked with fair ladies, where the days are spent in sweet delights, the nights in pleasant dreams. Farewell, the sovereign of all virtue and goddess of all virgins, Diana, whose perfections are impossible to be numbered, and therefore infinite, never to be matched, and therefore immortal. Farewell, sweet parents. Yet to be mine unfortunate parents. How blessed had you been in barrenness? How happy had I been if I had not been? Farewell, life, vain life, wretched life. Sorrows long, whose end doubtful, whose miseries certain, whose hopes innumerable, whose fears intolerable. Come death, and welcome death, whom nature cannot resist because necessity ruleth, nor defer because destiny hasteth. Come, Augur, thou unsatiable monster, maiden's blood and devourer of beauty's vows. Let thyself and let thy life end. Tear these tender joints with thy greedy jaws, these yellow locks with thy black feet, this fair face with thy foul teeth.
monster. And farewell, world, thou viler monster.
The monster is not come! And therefore I see that Neptune is abused, whose wrath I will fear me be both infinite and intolerable.
But we could not find any fairer.
Neptune will. Go, deliver her to her father. Take away this virgin whose want of beauty hath saved her own life and doomed all
Fortunate Hebe, how shalt thou express thy joy? Nay, unhappy girl. Thou art not the fairest. Had it not been better for thee to have died with fame than to live with dishonor? To have preferred the safety of thy country and rareness of thy beauty before sweetness of life and vanity of the world? But alas, destiny would not have it so. Destiny could not, for it asketh for the beautifulest. I would, Hebe, thou hadst been the beautifulest.
Come now, Hebe. Here is no time for us to argue. It had been best thou hadst been most beautiful, but...
To Neptune. Belike either the custom is pardoned or she not thought fairer.
I cannot conjecture the cause, but I fear the event.
What should thou fear? The god requireth no boy.
I would he did, then should I have no fear.
I am glad you doth not, though, for if you did, I should also have cause to fear. Thought, what manner god is this? Let us quickly withdraw ourselves into the thickets.
Do men begin to be equal with gods, seeking by craft to breach them that by power oversee them? Do they dote so much on their daughters that they stick not to dally with our deities? Well, shall the inhabitants see that destiny cannot be prevented by craft, nor my anger be appeased by submission? I will make havoc of Diana's nymphs. My temples shall be dyed with maiden's blood, and there shall be nothing more vile than to be a virgin. To be young and fair shall be accounted shame and punishment, insomuch as it shall be thought dishonorable to be honest, as fortunate to be deformed.
Oh, Neptune, hast thou forgotten thyself, or wilt thou clean forsake me? Hath Diana ever brought danger to her nymphs because they be chaste? Shall virtue suffer both pain and shame, which always deserveth praise and honor?
Praise and honor, Neptune.
Except it be commendable to be coy and honorable to be peevish, sweet Neptune. If Venus can do anything, let her try to this one thing, that Diana finds as small a comfort at thy hands as love hath found at hers. This is she that hateth sweet delights, that envieth loving desires, that masketh wanton eyes, that stoppeth amorous ears, that rideth youthful mounts, and under a name or a word, constancy, entertaineth all kinds of cruelty. This is she that has taken my son Cupid. Cupid, my lovely son. Like apprentice using him, as a servant scorning him, like a beast. Therefore, Neptune, I entreat thee by no other god than the god of love, that thou evil entreat this goddess of hate.
I I muse not a little to see you two in this place at this time and about this matter. But what say you, Diana? Have you Cupid captive?
I say, there is nothing more vain than to dispute with Venus, whose untamed affections have bred more brawls in heaven than is fit to repeat in earth, or possible to recount in number. I have Cupid, and will keep him, not to dandle in my lap, whom I abhor in my heart, but to laugh him, to scorn that hath which made in my virgin's heart such deep scars.
Scars, Diana? Call you that which I know to be bleeding wounds? Alas, weak deity, it stretcheth not so far both to abate the sharpness of his arrows and to heal the hurts. No, love's wounds, when they seem green, rankled, or having a smooth skin, fester to the death within. Therefore, Venus ever followed thee instead, or furthered thy fancy? Was it all else at thy command? Let you bring Diana's virgins to a continual massacre, or release Cupid of his martyrdom.
Venus, that your tongue is as unstayed as your thoughts, and your thoughts as unruly as your eyes. Diana cannot chatter. Venus cannot choose.
It is an honor for Diana to have Venus mean ill when she speaketh so well. But you shall see I come not to trifle. Therefore, once again, Neptune, if that was not buried which could never die, fancy, or quenched which must ever burn, affection. Show me that same Neptune I knew thy to be when thou wast a shepherd. Let Venus's words not be vain in thine ears, since thine were imprinted on my heart.
It were unfit that goddesses should strive, and it were unreasonable that I should not yield. Therefore, to appease both attend. Diana I must honor, her virtue deserveth no less. But Venus I must love. I must confess so much. Diana, restore Cupid to Venus, and I will forever release the sacrifice of virgins. If you love your nymphs as she doth her son, or prefer not a private grudge to a common grief, answer what you will do.
I count not the choice hard, for had I 20 Cupids, I would deliver them all to save one virgin, knowing love to be a thing of all the saintness, virginity to be a virtue of all the noblest. I yield. Larissa, bring out Cupid. And now shall it be said that Cupid saved those he thought to spoil.
I agree to this willingly, for I be wary how my son wander again, but Diana cannot forbid him to wound.
Chastity is not within the level of his bow.
But beauty is a fair mark to hit.
Well, I'm glad you agreed. Say that Neptune hath dealt well with beauty and chastity.
Here, take your son.
Always taken, first by Sappho, now by Diana. How happeneth that you were happy to
Looking through Diana's woods and seeing so many fair faces and fond hearts, I thought it in my sport to make them smart, and so was taken by Diana.
Well, I am glad I have you.
I am glad I am rid of him.
Alas, poor boys, thy wings clipped, thy brains quenched, thy bow burnt, thy arrows broke.
I would see why. I bear now my arrows in my eyes, my thoughts on my wing, my brains in my ears, my bow in my mouth. And so I can wound with looking, fly with thinking, burn with hearing, shoot with speaking.
Well, I will you up to heaven with me, for on earth thou wilt lose me.
Stop, please.
Those are defended me to save my father.
Why? Had you a fair daughter?
I am believe it's a fair daughter.
There be they.
And yonder woods, and methinks I see them.
Well, your deserts have not gotten ordered.
This is my daughter, my sweet Phillida.
And this is my fair Gallathea.
Gallathea, if this be Phillida,
Phillida, this be Gallathea.
and wast thou all this while enamored of Phillida? Sweet Phillida,
And couldst thou dote upon the face of a maiden, thyself being one on the face of fair Gallathea?
Do you two, being maidens, doth love one another?
I had thought the habit agreeable with the sex, and so burned in the fire of mine own fancies.
I had thought that in the habit of a boy there could not have the body of a virgin. And so was inflamed by a sweet desire which I now find to sour deceit.
Now things falling out as they do, you must leave these spawn-found affections. Nature will have its own, necessity must.
I will never love any but Phillida. Her love is engraven in my heart with her eyes.
Nor I any but Gallathea, whose faith is imprinted on my soul by her words.
Strange and foolish for one virgin to dote on another, and to imagine a constant faith where there be no cause of affection. I like you this, Venus.
I like well and allow it. Never was it said that nature or fortune shall overcome love and faith. Is your love unspotted, begun with truth, continued with constancy, and not to be altered till death?
Die, Gallathea, if thy love be not so.
Oh, cursed be thou, Phillida, if thy love be not so.
Suppose all this, Venus, what then?
Then shall it be said that I can turn one of them to be a man, and that I will.
Is it possible?
What is to love or the mistress of love? Impossible. What say you, one to be a man presently?
I am content that I may embrace Gallathea.
I wish it that I may enjoy Phillida.
Son, daughter! I must know whether I will have you a son.
Shall I take me with you, Gallathea? I will keep you as I begat you.
A daughter. Nay, Titus, let yours be made a man, and then you will, mine shall not.
Nay, mine shall not, for then my young son shall lose his inheritance.
Then get him to be made a maiden, and then there is nothing.
If this could be done, I would, Venus, could make my wife a man. She loves always to play with me.
Agree to this changing, or endue your daughters to suffer hard chance.
What say you, Titus? Shall we leave it to Venus?
I'm content, because she is a goddess.
Neptune, you will not. And you, Diane?
Not I.
Oh, Cupid will not. Then it is done. Neither will know whose lot it will be till they come to the church door. Doth it suffice?
I satisfy us both. Doth it not, Gallathea?
Yes, Phillida.
What are these that so nail partly thrust themselves into our companies?
Forsooth, madam, we are fortune tellers.
Fortune tellers. Tell me my fortune.
Oh, we do not need fortune tellers. We need fortune tellers. We can tell what fortune we've had. These are 12 months of
Let them alone. They be but peevish.
They will serve as well as entertainment at the marriage, to make us all merry.
Aye, ladies, we bear a very good consort.
Can you sing?
Basely.
And you?
Meanly.
And what can you do?
If they can double it, I can treble it.
Then you shall go with us and sing Hymen before the marriage. Are you content?
Content? Never better content! For there we shall be sure to fill our bellies on capons or rumps, or some such dainty little dish.
Then follow us.
Go all. 'Tis I only that conclude all. You ladies may see that Venus can make constancy fickleness, courage cowardice, modesty lightness, working things impossible in your sex and tempering hardest hearts like softest wool. Yield, ladies, yield to love, ladies, which lurketh under your eyelids whilst you sleep and playeth with your heartstrings whilst you wake, whose sweetness never breedeth satiety, labor weariness, nor grief bitterness. Cupid was begotten in a mist, nursed in clouds, and sucking only upon conceits. Confess him a conqueror, whom ye ought to regard so that it is impossible to resist. For this is infallible, that love conquereth all things but itself, and ladies all hearts but their own.